Okay, welcome back to another episode of An Unlikely Friendship, the podcast. Somehow we've made it to magical episode number 10. And today we're going to be talking
Yay.
about upbringing, or like our upbringing as children.
I think one day we'll get a good intro, but
What's wrong with my intros? Maybe you can cap off the
no,
last episode
no.
intro.
I think we've already set the tone. I think it's best if you just keep going. But I think just next time will be a good one if we even do another one.
I mean, we have to at least do one more since you really want to do a death episode.
Okay, I think I want to change that topic to like a happy episode, but that we'll just talk about death in there too. You know.
Well, death isn't exactly a happy thing.
I'm expecting my funeral to be a very happy celebration, like, wow, he did it. Like, congratulations. What a life.
You did what?
I'm not expecting to die now, okay? Like, I'm saying like 40, 50 years from now, they'll be like, damn, kudos. But yeah, anyways, upbringing. How about you start us off this time?
Did you start us last time?
I don't know, but I think I just need you to bounce some ideas first. And then...
Okay, well, I mean, I guess the initial idea of this topic is just that we are both like raised in Asian households, but like at least my mom immigrated here, but my dad was born here, but we still have Asian roots. And then your parents both immigrated over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But we're both born here, right?
Yeah, so we were both born here, but we still have like our parents have like at least some fairly traditional like Asian what's the word? Like the heck, I don't know. I don't have the word, but
Wait. Where's your mom actually from?
somewhere in China. I
Right.
think is it a province or is it a city? Guangzhou somewhere?
Actually, I don't know. Maybe it's a province. I don't know. I just know my parents are from Hong Kong. So.
Or Canton, maybe is the province. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But basically, both of us are Chinese.
Yeah.
There's a decent population of people who have, like us, who were born here, but our parents, at least one of them, is an Asian immigrant. And I think it's like a whole, I don't have the words, like culture, or like it's just a very specific way that we were all raised. And there's like a lot of things I think that we can all relate to each other on.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the whole subtle Asian traits right on like Facebook. But yeah. I think like at least I know for a fact, like when my parents immigrated here, like a lot of people from Hong Kong immigrated to Vancouver at around the same time. That's why like my best friend and even a lot of our high school friends, their parents are from Hong Kong. But yeah, like they're obviously born here just like us. So
I think that your family is a little bit more traditionally Asian than mine. I guess like for one, my dad was born here, so that's half of it. He's pretty whitewashed. But I thought it was interesting when I met you and your friend group, just how like you guys actually sometimes will talk to each other in like Cantonese and stuff. And I hadn't, like, my group of friends, most of them are Asian, but not Cantonese. And I just thought it was so interesting that you guys could all speak it and you guys all talk to each other in
Cantonese is also like a dying language, right? So it's like especially now that I'm in Mississauga, I have a couple of roommates, like they're older people. I'm like really bad at the conversion between Cantonese and Mandarin. Like if someone speaks to me in Mandarin, I have no idea what they're saying. So it's like, yeah, kind of wish I learned Mandarin, but yeah.
So, I mean, I can speak and understand both Cantonese and Mandarin, but both of them are not very great. But I don't know. I think a lot of Asian ideals a lot of them are kind of, I think, old-fashioned. And like me and you are pretty traditional, I'd say, on the spectrum of like modern and traditional. We definitely lean towards traditional, but there are still some like things that my parents raised me with that I think are too traditional.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there are certain like feng shui or like feng shui or whatever. Like, I don't believe that at all. Like, my house can face west, east, north. Like, I don't care. Like, like it's not gonna affect how I live my life.
I don't
But
know anything about that, so I don't really know how it works. I just know it's a thing.
it's just like there's certain things like your walls have to be a certain way. Like the windows have to face a certain like direction and stuff. And it's just stuff like that where I'm like, yeah, you know what? Like I don't believe in it, so like it doesn't affect me, right? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, so I think one thing that I wanted to talk about with in regards to our upbringing was just that I think it's incredibly common in Asian households for there not to really be any communication between parents and children about like anything serious or um, like any issues or anything. And like another thing is that I think in Asian households, it's very rare for families to be super open about like feelings and especially like showing love and affection and like because the parents don't really show like love and affection towards their children, it doesn't really happen the other way around or among siblings too much or anything. Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
I think I kind of understand, especially just the beginning part where you're talking about serious situations. Yeah, I remember when we were kids, there'd be like we'd get phone calls from Hong Kong and stuff, and even here because a lot of my mom's side immigrated here as well. So I have a lot of cousins from my mom's side. But yeah, like you can tell that something's happening or like something's going on. Like even when we're younger and we'll just be playing around, like you know that the parents are talking about something serious. But like obviously, I think we were too young that they wouldn't really discuss with us. But like yeah, even as we got older, I think they still try to kind of not hide things from us, but it's kind of like shelter us from things that are happening. But yeah, and with regards to like showing affection, I think we might have briefly mentioned this before too, but I think now it's easier for my family. I think a large part of that is just my sister's pretty affectionate as a person. So like she'll give us hugs, she'll say like I love you and stuff like that. So it's like better. And also I don't live at home as much anymore. Well, I mean I don't live at home right now. So like I think distance does make it easier as well.
I mean, so for my family, like the communication thing, we still are very bad at communication. And like my parents, I'm pretty sure like my dad had cancer, but I'm pretty sure my dad, like my parents never actually like even directly discussed it with me and my sister. We just knew like something was wrong with him health wise and he was in the hospital, but like no one even said exactly what. So it's really dumb. Like the heck? Like I feel like this is stuff you should be communicating about. And I think um it sounds like your family, at least recently, is more affectionate than mine is. I think, like, after that time when my dad was in the hospital, it was after that that my dad started to, like, sometimes, like, you know, for Christmas or something, if my sister and I would give him a gift, he would give us a hug. And it started, like, it was weird because, like, growing up, that never really happened. Like, we never showed each other affection. So, even now, like anytime, like my mom has always been a bit more affectionate and open with that stuff, but my dad never was. And so even now, it's like super freaking weird if he is at all. And like I never heard my dad say I love you, I'm pretty sure, and it'd be super weird if he did. I think I might die if I heard that.
Okay.
Um, but I realized recently that, like fairly recently, that I think being raised in a family this way where communication is an issue and like the lack of affection. Oh, wait. I mean, I don't know if you've seen, but I've seen a couple times on like subtle Asian traits. It's like a joke, but it's also not really a joke. I guess it's very common in Asian families for parents to show their love through cutting fruit for their children, and that's the way they show like love.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I realized that with this being how I was raised up in terms of like communication being fairly poor and like families not being affectionate, that's really affected how I am in like a romantic relationship with someone.
So are you saying you don't cut fruit for your boyfriend?
I don't really, but
No, because Katie's parents cut her fruit so often. I mean, I think like half the Zoom calls we've had, she's been eating like a bowl of fruits. It's just they always come in and give her some stuff. But yeah,
yeah, no, but I meant more in terms of the other stuff, like for one, like realizing in my last relationship that there really was like a lack of communication. I mean, and it's, a relationship is two-sided, right? So it's not like it was only one person. And then the other thing is that in a relationship for me, despite like I find it now super weird because of how I was raised in my family with like we don't really show each other affection and stuff. I get really weirded out if like, there's hugging going on and stuff. Like it's just super weird because I didn't grow up that way with them. But in a relationship, I'm the opposite. I'm kind of really clingy and I like a lot of like like, affection and like physical touch and stuff. I'm literally the opposite. So it's like really weird to me how that works. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know
you're
about
just
you
craving it
though.
because you've never had it.
It could be.
No, I mean, I think I'm pretty similar. I mean, I'll hug my mom and I'll hug my dad, but like obviously with my girlfriend, it's different. I don't know. Like overall, I'd say my upbringing was fine. I mean, I don't have really many things I can complain about. My parents, I mean, I guess like similar to our last episode about expectations, like I always felt like I had to be good and everything, like achieve certain like academic success and like everything like that. But yeah, but I mean, I'd say they were stricter on me when I was a kid, but then as I grew up, they kind of just let me do my own thing. And yeah, I was happy with that.
I think my general childhood was all right. But it's just like these are aspects of my family that I realize as I've gotten older. Do you want to talk about Chinese school, which is something we both did?
I hated Chinese school so badly. I mean,
How long did you actually do it for? I think that's
until grade
longer than you.
11.
No, wait, when did you start?
I don't remember, but I stopped in grade 11. And it was literally so miserable. It was every Saturday. You probably did it longer. I think you told me before, but I was only Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I
And
was
oh
three
my
times a week
God,
for.
like I would wake up like earlier. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
You're
Go
what, three
ahead.
times a week for what?
My Chinese school was three times a week. I started in grade one until grade seven doing that. So 3 years, three times a week. Tuesdays, was it Tuesdays, Fridays was Cantonese school, and then I think Mondays I went to another elementary school for Mandarin, and then once I moved back to schools into Coquitlam, my mom made me to go to Chinese school here at my high school for a year, which I hated because it was even worse because I didn't have friends here.
You still don't. So.
Ah! And yeah, so that was a lot. But anyways, what are you saying? Yours was Saturdays?
Yeah, so I assume that means your writing and reading is probably a lot better than mine.
I think my writing and reading might be better than yours, but like
Yeah,
my
I
speaking
literally
and
can't write it. Actually,
understanding.
no,
What?
we've played on Zoom before, right?
Oh
When
wait,
we
yeah, we
spoke,
tried to write a whole bunch of random words that we remember.
they were absolute garbage. Like I wouldn't. I'd say a grade one would know more than I do now. Like I have not written Chinese past like that Zoom meeting that we had. Like I've never write anything in Chinese. There's just no point.
Yeah, there's no
But
reason to. But I
yeah,
also think writing it is a lot harder because you actually have to remember the literal character, right? Whereas
yeah,
reading, as long as you sort of remember the character, you can recognize it, right? It's
yeah.
easier in that sense.
But yeah, I'm absolutely the worst. And then yeah, I would wake up early in the morning to study for like our dictations and like exams and stuff. And I remember for exams, I couldn't actually read. I would just memorize the characters and how they looked and then just like regurgitate anything that like, but yeah, it was just awful. I hated every moment of it. Like now that I look back, I do wish I worked harder on it so I could actually read and write. But man, it was just torture for me. I hated every Saturday. Like,
I
yeah,
really do think that Chinese is just frustrating because it's like it's not an alphabet the way
yeah,
English is, and you don't form words that way. It's literally that every word has a different character.
yeah,
And a lot of characters, I mean, a lot of words sound the same, but they are written differently and stuff
yeah,
like that. Um,
yeah. Maybe one day I think my goal in life would just be to be able to read a Chinese menu. I think that's like the level of Chinese that I think I could go for. At least then there's like an actual purpose.
I think
Yeah,
it's actually nice to be able to order food in Chinese, which I
yeah.
definitely cannot do.
I'm always very like nervous when I do it. That's why I always order the same things.
At least you're able to do it. I'm always surprised too if I do go to like a Chinese restaurant when the wait staff does speak to me in Chinese. I'm surprised, like, wait, you don't assume that I'm like super whitewashed and that I can't speak it. And then I feel like I need to speak it, but I'm not good enough to. And I
Yeah,
definitely can't order in Chinese. So I end up having to speak in English anyway, even though I start trying to speak in
yeah,
Chinese. And then it's just kind of awkward.
yeah. No, and it's also like, especially now that I don't speak Cantonese to anyone, like I know my Cantonese is getting worse. Like even when I call back home and I'm like talking to my parents, it's like, oh man, like I really need to have someone to talk to, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
No, 100. Sorry, just yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you don't practice, you literally do lose
yeah,
it because, from when I was watching home videos, I swear when I was a kid, I think my Chinese was literally better when I was 3 years old
yeah,
than it is now. Like, I just have forgotten so much of it because I really don't practice it anymore.
yeah. But
So,
that's why sometimes I watch like Chinese dramas or like Cantonese dramas, but they're awful. Cantonese dramas are always so like they're super predictable and they're so cheesy. It's like they're like 10 years behind of like regular like dramas. Like they're just like the cheesiest storyline you can think of. But yeah.
it's also really dramatic, isn't it? I actually haven't
Yeah.
watched one like probably since I was a kid.
Yeah, no, they're just bad. But maybe I'm watching the wrong ones. Like I'm sure there's
No,
some good
but
ones
I
out
mean,
there.
I have heard that like
They're just so
watching
cheesy.
shows is a good way for you to like practice or like learn a language.
Oh, I mean, I know your boyfriend is also Chinese, I
Yeah.
think. Yes, yeah, but Netflix has Ip Man or like Ip Man. Like
Yeah.
they have all like four movies
Yeah.
now. You guys can binge watch that. I just watched the fourth one maybe like last week.
Yeah.
I mean, uh, it's kind of like all four of the movies are pretty much the same formula where like he kind of just like fights a lot of people, but it's still good. Every time I watch any one of those movies, like it makes me just want to like kick something.
I
Just
don't
punch.
know when the fourth one came out, but I don't think I've actually seen that one yet at all.
Wait, have you watched the first three?
I've definitely watched the first two. I'm not sure what
The third one has Mike Tyson in it.
is that when like the white people come in or something.
I think that's the second one.
Maybe I haven't seen the third one either then. I think I rewatched the first two not too long ago, and
So
some
good.
parts are really sad. I definitely cried.
Which parts? Oh man, the first one's the best when he fights the 10 Japanese people. Oh my gosh, that fight is it's so good. But yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the second one was the worst one out of all four of those movies.
Really?
Yeah, the second one was him fighting that boxer, right? And I was like, there's no
Yeah.
point in fighting that boxer.
He
But
won
yeah.
though, didn't he? I think
He
so.
wins all the fights. He doesn't lose. But yeah.
Well,
Uh,
isn't Ip Man like Bruce Lee's Sifu or something
yeah,
like that?
he taught him for like 6 months or something. Like it wasn't exactly like
Oh.
easy. But yeah. Did I ever tell you when I went to Hong Kong, we went to the Bruce Lee museum, and it was funny because he went to school in America, right? And yeah, his grades were posted, and it was like on the caption, it was like he got the
Oh,
best
yeah, you
grade.
sent me a picture,
Yeah,
I think.
I was like, damn, poor guy, man. Like you passed away, and people are still like you think your grades are private, but no, it's like everyone can just see that you didn't do very well in school. It's just like, yeah,
It's so funny. Wait, do you want to talk about extracurricular activities?
yeah. I mean, generally, like at least for me, like my parents made me do like swimming, skating, joined like a band, played the electric bass. You know, it's
Wait,
pretty.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wasn't very good at it. I had to play it up until I think grade 11. Then I finally got to stop in grade 12. But I
Uh-huh.
was so bad. I didn't even know my keys. Like, you know how there's like B, like E and stuff like you know, it's like the beginning of the thing. There's a little sign that
Oh,
tells
yeah,
you what
yeah,
key
yeah.
to play in.
Treble clef or bass
Yeah, like
clef?
yeah, and like it's different. Like I don't remember what they're called, but I only knew how to play in B flat. So like my fingers, it was just awful. Like I didn't put too much effort in that. Swimming, I was pretty bad at. Like I wasn't a very good swimmer. Like I'm confident now that if you throw me in water, like I'll survive for like a minute of treading water before my muscles like spasm and I just drown. But yeah, I really like skating though. There was a time when I wanted to do hockey, but then I'm kind of glad of that I didn't, just because I don't think I would have actually liked it. But yeah, I didn't do that. My parents said you can do figure skating instead. I'm like, I don't want to do figure skating. So yeah.
Um, I actually, now that you mention it, yeah, my parents also made me, I took swimming lessons, but then I didn't swim like since then, and I can't swim anymore. So I'm confident that I'll probably drown if I am
How
thrown
long
into
did you take
water.
swimming lessons for then? Yeah, because I remember you said you can't swim.
Yeah, I only took it for a couple of years. I feel like I don't know how there's different like levels, right? I feel
Yeah.
like I only made it to like level two out of like I don't know how many levels.
When we were kids, it was 12 levels, but I think now it's like 10.
Oh, yeah, I didn't make it that far. And
I
yeah,
only made it up to level
so
6. I'm gonna be honest. I failed one of the levels like 4 times or something. I was really bad
swimming
at
is
swimming.
hard. Yeah, I don't know. And then, yeah, I also did skating as well and dancing. Had to learn piano. I had to learn violin through school
Yeah.
actually, and I was awful at violin. Oh wait,
I,
yes.
can I just say violin sounds? I mean, like, okay, there are good violinists, I think they're called, but yeah, I don't like the sound of the violin. Like, sometimes it's
Oh,
like I can't tell the difference between a good violin player and like a bad one
that's
because
not
they're
what I
just,
thought you were gonna say. Like, I think it can sound nice, but it's just that you have to be good at it because it's so easy to sound horrible on the violin. Like you can definitely like no, violin is one of those where if you're not good, it sounds so bad. um
you know, it's like bagpipes. Like, oh my God, like I can't tell. Like, is this good or bad? It just sounds like, and the weird thing is I feel like bagpipes are everywhere. I mean, even when I graduated from SFU, right, there was bagpiping. I'm like, why? But I think it's because like Simon Fraser was a Scottish person, maybe.
oh,
But yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't know.
have an actual ceremony, so I wouldn't know if there would have been one at UBC. um but Actually, hey, I don't think you mentioned how happy you were when you were finally allowed to quit Chinese school.
Oh, I was just happy. Like I couldn't do it anymore because I told you I couldn't read, right? I was just memorizing the characters, and that method only works for so long. Once you start getting higher up and you have to memorize more, like I just couldn't do it. I was like, Mom, Dad, I can't. I just don't want to do it. Like I'm not learning anything anyways, because like they knew it, right? Like even when I had to write essays and stuff, I would leave like half of it blank and then ask my parents to help me like fill in the blanks. Like I want to say this kind of thing. And then also, yeah, no, it was just awful. But another extracurricular activity, I took art class for like 6 years or something. So at first it was maybe like 3 years of like Chinese calligraphy, and then like 3 years of like um, actually painting. And it
Mhm.
was actually at Lafarge. Well, at first it was at like my teacher's basement house, or like the basement of their house for like Chinese calligraphy. But then we moved to Lafarge, and like man, Lafarge, I think like such a nice place now. Like I don't know if you've ever been to Lafarge Lake recently.
Oh, like
I know
the lake,
actually.
yeah, but not the. I know there's like a building there, isn't there? I've never been in that
Yeah,
building.
like we've definitely played Pokemon Go at Lafarge, but like before that, Lafarge was literally just a pond, and there was like maybe a couple courts, but like now it actually looks like good. But yeah,
Yeah, they
we used to
really
paint.
like redid the whole city center area. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I saw also that they were planning on, or they are planning on redeveloping the whole like Coquitlam Center into how sort of like
Oh
City of
yes,
Lougheed, City of
yeah.
Brentwood kind of thing. But I don't know how
That's gonna take like
that's,
five
yeah,
years.
no,
I think.
considering like Brentwood and Lougheed are still not done and it's been
Yeah,
several years.
yeah. Brentwood's close though. I think
I
they
think they
have to be.
just finished with like the first phase of condos, and I think they just finished with the first phase of the mall, but not like
Oh,
the whole mall. It's taking a long time.
yeah. I don't think it's even gonna be worth it.
You don't? I think it'll be cool when it's done. It's just that it's taking
Yeah.
so long.
I guess Brentwood is actually not bad because BCIT is pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that might be nice.
I don't think that's a bad area, and it's right along the SkyTrain and everything.
You know what's really nice? New West, New Westminster.
I
If you
feel like
ever
there's nothing there though. Why is New West nice? I don't
no,
think there's
New West by the
anybody there.
port, it's actually really nice. It's deceptively a nice area. You wouldn't think it looks nice. So, um, me and my girlfriend used to go to New West for the movie theater, like Landmark Cinema,
Oh,
because
yeah, yeah, for the
and in
nice
the
seats,
chairs.
yeah.
Yeah. But then my cousin was saying like, oh, you should walk down to like the it's not like a port, but like just walk down to the water. It's actually nice. Like the houses there and even just the walkway, it's really nice. Like if you and your boyfriend ever go to landmarks, it's definitely worth because I'll be honest, like this even the SkyTrain station looks pretty bad. But definitely
Yeah, it's really sketchy. I met my boyfriend there once. We went for lunch in New West somewhere, and
yeah,
I got off at the SkyTrain, and it was so
yeah,
sketchy. There's
it's
like a
sketchy.
bunch of hobos, and like I accidentally went out a wrong entrance or something, and it took me out to an
Yeah.
alley, and I was like, "Where the hell am I?"
This is where I die. But yeah, no,
Literally.
definitely the next time you meet him there, if you ever meet him there again, like the port is definitely worth the walk. It is so nice.
I feel like I need to ask you for specifics of where exactly because we're gonna
It's
end
literally
up
just
with like the hobos again.
if you just get off the SkyTrain, just walk to the water. It's like maybe like a 3 minute walk to the water, and then like that little like I don't know what it's called, but it's
Are you
just
talking about from the like Landmark Cinema, that SkyTrain station?
yeah, because
Um,
that's New West, right?
yeah,
Like
but there's a couple that are technically in New
oh,
West.
but I think the station New West is where Landmarks is. But yeah,
Okay.
that one's nice. It's actually a trail. Like you can walk it, but it's like a straight line trail, so you have to walk back.
Oh, so
But
like it doesn't loop around.
yeah, it doesn't.
Um, Wait, so did you end up actually just talking to your parents and being like, "Hey, I just can't do this anymore," and that's when they let you quit?
And technically, so I quit in like starting grade 11, right? It's also because my sister was going to stop because she was going to university.
Oh,
So they kind of let us both off the hook, which, man, if I had to do Chinese school through 11 and 12, I think I would have cried. Because there's like, do you know, like, I don't think you understand how hard it was if you can't read like, if you can't read, Chinese school is freaking hard as heck. Like it's actually a miracle I even passed my exams. Like I'd say like I got like 70 to 80. Like
that's not even
just
bad.
yeah, but root memorization. Like I'm not even joking. I could read like Yamwai. Like that's all I could read. And like that's all I would write. Like because this and I just regurgitate like everything that I could memorize. Like, oh man, it was just awful.
Yeah, but isn't reading Chinese characters memorization? Because you do
No,
mention.
but like I didn't know what they said. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know what the word was. I
Oh,
the
what?
character because you know how like when we at least for the Chinese school I went to, we'd read like these short stories
Yeah.
and they'll have like questions at the end. I wouldn't know how to read the questions or the answers. But if when the exam came, if I saw like the same characters for that question, I would then regurgitate what was the answer, if that makes sense.
I
Because
don't
like the
get it.
exam would ask us like short like based on this short story, like what did this person do or something, right?
Uh-huh.
And I would have memorized those characters. Like so if I saw a question that had enough characters that reminded me of what I
So you
studied.
literally couldn't really even read
No,
the
like legit,
question.
I couldn't read. That's why in grade 11, when my parents told me I could stop, I was like, thank you. Like, because I literally couldn't do it anymore because I would wake up at like 5 a.m. to like start studying for like 2.5 hours until it was time for me to go. Like, yeah, it was awful.
Oh my God, that's not what I thought you meant. I mean, wow, yeah, that sounds horrible. I like
I
at
was,
least I was able to like if I saw the character enough, I'd remember like, oh, this character is Yan Wei or this is Yen, and then I could actually read it, but it would just take a lot of
dude,
practice. What the
I
heck,
like,
Matt?
it was a huge
You do
waste of
that
money.
for so long.
No, like it was insane. Like that's why I was like, yeah, but they let me stop. They also let me stop band, which was really nice because I couldn't play the bass anymore. It was so boring. I couldn't. It's not a good. I mean,
Why didn't you just switch to a different instrument?
because we bought that instrument and
Oh,
like I didn't even like it. Like, you know what I mean? It was just. I'm not a huge music person. Like I like listening to music and stuff, right? But I'm not gonna play the music.
yeah.
And yeah,
So
I was
did
just
you
really bad.
sell the bass then?
No, I think we still have it. If you ever
Hmm.
want, I can play you like the sale.
Only in B, what did you say, B flat?
B flat, yeah.
Um, yeah.
What about you? Didn't you play an instrument?
Yeah, I played piano and then like I had to learn violin, but I was terrible at it. And then recorder in elementary school.
I was good at the recorder. I'm gonna be honest. Like
The
that was
recorder is not hard though.
yeah, that was my instrument of choice.
Um, yeah, I mean, I hated piano lessons and stuff. I hated scales. Did you learn piano?
No,
Oh,
I kind of
interesting.
wish I did, but like I knew I didn't have the mentality to learn piano. If anything, like when I was a kid, I wouldn't focus very well. So like, there's no way I would have learned the piano to like a decent level because I
Oh,
think I would have hated it.
no, like I hated practicing and stuff, but I was able to stop, I think was this in grade 9 because my piano teacher actually went away on vacation or something for an extended period of time. And then after she came back, we just never continued. So I'm like, cool. And
Do you
then
know like what level you went up to? Like how good were you at the piano? Like
I completed like the grade 8, whatever RC, what is it? RC.
I actually don't know the levels, so like you're gonna have to like.
I forgot what level it goes up to, but like I went up to grade 8 and then I stopped. So I did the exam and everything. But
Could you
like,
could you play like Beethoven?
So, like, do you know what sight reading is, right?
Like just reading and
Yeah,
playing.
it's like, yeah, you just read and play, even if you
Yeah,
like haven't played it before. I'm
yeah,
not good at that at all. I definitely make like 5 billion
yeah.
mistakes and I have to go super slow. So, like now, once in a while, I can still like go back and read music, but
Hmm.
I'm like pretty slow. So,
Yeah,
like once in a while, I will go and sit in front of my piano now and I just practice some of the songs that I actually like. Because
yeah.
when you're doing like the exam and stuff, you can only select from very specific sets of songs. Like you can't play
Hmm.
like a pop song that you hear on the radio now, right? It's like from a book of
Yeah.
like established,
Hmm.
like old, like
Because it has to be the right level, right? Or else.
yeah, so yeah, it's all, like Mozart and Beethoven or
Mhm.
whatever. And like a lot of the songs, like they're pretty, but I don't really like them or anything. So I remember, yeah, later, it was in the later years, I asked my piano teacher, I wanted to learn to play like some Inuyasha songs and stuff. I literally did. I can play once in a while now. I'll go back and play. I think
Just play the theme song that's like, I want to change the world.
I didn't learn that one. I learned like
Come
the
on, that one's iconic.
the
That's the only one I know.
instrumental ones. No, like it's like the background music when like something sad's happening or
Yeah,
something
like
like
I'll be
that.
honest, like I haven't watched Inuyasha since like
Oh, right,
I was
yeah.
a kid. So like the only song I ever remember is the first theme song because it was
That one's a good theme song. It's
yeah,
iconic.
yeah. But then what do you call it? Have you ever watched that anime? It's about this pianist, like he and like this girl who plays the violin.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about. I
Your
don't think
Lie
I
in
actually
April, I think. I think it's
I've
called Your
heard of
Lie.
it. I don't think I actually ever
I
watched.
called it. Okay, like I mean, spoiler alert if you're ever gonna watch it, but the girl dies, or
Yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah, the girl dies. I called it. Like the moment I saw him, I'm like, they're too perfect. Like the girl's dead. Like it's just yeah. I mean, I think I watched it with my girlfriend, and I mean, it's good, right? But like, yeah, I mean, like when I read the manga, so it was kind of like in the manga. Obviously, it's like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Like he's like when he plays the piano, it's so much better. But like when I'm watching the anime, I can't really tell the difference. Like, why is his song like so much better than his competitions? If that makes sense. But yeah. Anyways.
Wait, have you ever seen those films? Like it's like a couple years ago they came out or it came out and like everyone says it's like amazing. People who watch anime, it's like called
Yeah.
Weathering with You? No.
No, Kimi something no wa or whatever, right? Like
Yeah, I think
this
that's it.
the Your Name.
Oh yeah. Is
I
Weathering
told
with
you
You
how I
like a
feel about it,
sequel or
right?
something? I keep
I've never heard
seeing
of that.
stuff. Okay, well, anyways, I'm not sure if you told me how you feel about it.
Wait, have you watched it?
No.
You have to watch it. Like I watched it because everyone was saying it was so good, and it's not bad. It's actually like it's kind of sweet. But can I just give you all the spoilers? Are you gonna
Fine.
watch it? Sorry.
Yeah, just spoil it,
All right.
whatever. I don't know if I will.
So technically, the whole like the biggest twist of that story is so pretty much the guy and the girl are switching bodies, right?
Oh.
And uh at first they were kind of like, oh, what's happening? But then they'll leave messages on their phones sorry, let me try from the very beginning. So from my memory, the boy and the girl, they start swapping bodies, but they don't actually know each other. Okay, so like at first they think it was just like a dream where like they'll go to sleep, they'll wake up in like another person's body, they'll do the entire day, and then they go back to sleep and they'll wake up in their own body, and they thought it was like just a dream kind of thing, right? But then they slowly realized like they're actually losing a day, like like to someone's using their body when they're in the other person's body kind of thing. So they start leaving messages on each other's phones, right? Like telling them like, oh, like don't do this, or like just certain like rules and stuff. And then finally, they keep going, and then they just have to meet each other, right? Because they like, okay, like we're clearly there's something linking us together. Like we should meet up and like actually talk. But then when they go to meet up, like they're actually in different timelines, and the girl's actually dead. Like it's like this weird thing where like they're 3 years apart, and like so it was really weird, right? Because it was like, oh my god, like, and anyways, like they solve it. The boy kind of like, I don't really remember exactly how it happened, but pretty much he goes and tries to warn people that like they were going to die or like they have to evacuate or something. But yeah, anyways, that's the biggest plot hole in the story was like they're 3 years apart, right? Or however many years apart. But if you're leaving messages on each other's phones, you should be able to tell that, oh, wait a minute, like it's Friday for you, but it's like what, like Monday for me. Do you know what I mean? Like when I go to sleep, the next day I wake up in your body, it won't be Tuesday. It would be like a different day because we're 3 years apart. Like, does that make sense?
Couldn't it be
Like,
3 years apart, but like the same day of the week and stuff?
no, but then if I'm leaving a message for you for August, like let's say today's August 4th, right? If I leave a message on
Oh,
August 4th and it's 3 years ago, that would be like
yeah,
what,
yeah.
Saturday?
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Like so it's like, yeah, like are you stupid? Like it would have been so obvious, even if you don't check the year, right? But like you just look at your phone and you're like, wait, what the hell is this? Like it's Tuesday. But yeah, I don't know. That was my biggest pet peeve, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so good," but like that, they were idiots. But yeah.
You
Anyways,
really just don't like plot holes. I think we've discussed some
that
plot
is a
holes for a lot
huge
of
plot hole, though. Maybe
things.
I'll rewatch it. Maybe they actually like address why. But yeah, I mean,
I mean, you could probably Google it, like your name plot holes.
yeah, that's the biggest one. That's why I really disliked it because it was just like it can't be really good if there's such a big plot hole. If that makes sense. You know, I think I've told you this many times, but you gotta watch Steins Gate. Steins Gate, it's so good. Like I don't know if there are plot holes because I haven't watched it in a long time, but like that one is something that is good enough.
I watched it a couple years ago.
Yeah,
When you were telling me to rewatch it, you ended up
yeah,
rewatching. I mean, when you were telling me to watch it, you ended up
yeah.
rewatching it.
It was maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, and it was good.
I've
I'm gonna
lost track of how many times you've told me to watch it.
it's that one
You
day.
gave up for a while because you were like, yeah, I don't think you'll like it actually. But
Yeah, I actually
then
don't think you would, but it's so good. It's one of those things. If I ever like get amnesia or something, just tell me to rewatch that.
somehow we started talking about anime. But
We could have made that a whole episode. Your anime class.
um, oh yeah. Oh, my sister started watching yesterday Attack on Titan.
Oh, didn't you watch that?
Yeah, I started watching that from anime
Yeah.
class, and then I binged the whole freaking 3 seasons in like a
Yeah.
week. Do you remember that? That was horrible. I
Yeah.
didn't even really sleep. I say that it was bad, but anyway,
Katie's a natural weeb.
I'm not a weeb. I remember you trying to get me to admit that I'm a weeb for the longest time.
Because you were. Look, exactly. Freaking her parents just bought her a bowl of fruit. That's your dad's way of saying I love you, you know?
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, she already finished the first season for sure. She just started watching it yesterday.
I don't know, man. Attack on Titan wasn't
I
like I
thought the
definitely get
first
it.
season was really good. I don't know if
That's
you
true.
know where the like seasons end,
I don't
but
know.
the I can't remember now, but the first bit was really just it's so interesting just because it's so
That's true.
different from anything else. But then after a while, it just gets really confusing and it gets more
Gets worse.
boring and like yeah.
Like, because I think they introduced a lot of mystery, and I think their answers to their mysteries weren't that great. Like I don't remember how far the anime goes, but I've read quite far into the manga, and it gets so confusing.
Is the manga still ongoing?
I think so, but they update like once a month or something. So
Oh,
it's like I haven't read it in a long time. Do you want to just start talking about what you did this week? Kind of a nice little recap for your week.
I mean, I didn't do anything other than like a lot of sleeping. I didn't do anything productive this week. Like I still was working out sort of, but like I didn't really work on job applications or anything this past week. And because my sleeping, it's weird because I keep not being able to sleep through at nighttime, even though I'll get tired nowadays at like midnight or so. But I'll wake up throughout the night and I'll start waking up at like 5 in the morning and I'll keep waking up periodically after that, even though I want to sleep just like for 8 hours. I want to sleep from 12 to like 8 and just sleep through and then wake up at 8, but that's just not happening. So then I've been ending up napping during the daytime. But besides that, I guess you said throughout the episode, my boyfriend, I guess technically since the last episode, yeah, so I got back together with my ex-boyfriend who's now my boyfriend again.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing, and I've been hanging out with him this week, and that's my life. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, my life pretty good. Yeah, I mean, honestly, nothing much has happened this week. Just TAing, really, man. TAing is not that fun. I still remember last year when I first started TAing, I was like, man, this is gonna be so much fun. Get to like teach like first years and stuff.
You actually
And,
thought it would be fun?
yeah, because I liked like not okay, I didn't like any of the tutorials I had, but I just thought it would be fun. And like I would say my first tutorial was probably my favorite tutorial, like my first tutorial group of kids, like those 20 kids or something. Those were my favorite group of kids. Like every other group, I've only had 2 other groups now. So like I've TA'd 3 courses, but yeah, like they're just so much work. Like they're not even fun. Like not that they're not fun, but like
Are they
just
dumb?
it's not like they're dumb, right? I had dumb kids in my first one, right? But at least they were like interactive. Like at least like it's okay if you get something wrong, but like at least give me something, right? Like at least show me that you're putting effort into it. Whereas like in this case, like for like the last 2, it's like they're putting the minimum amount of effort, so like there's not even really a purpose to try to help them. If that makes sense, because no matter how much feedback I give you, it's the next lab report is just equally bad because it's like they're clearly not taking any of my like suggestions and like stuff. But like yeah, TAing is not that fun. Research has been slowing down a lot.
Well,
Finished your good food stuff because I finished all of my stuff and
oh wait, I think you told me that you tried all of them
yeah,
already earlier, but you didn't like the salad.
it wasn't that great.
Yeah, we
Chicken.
finished it really fast because we only had
You had the kimchi udon and like, or was it udon?
yeah, it was udon, and then the other one was like pork burgers with sweet potato fries.
Oh, right,
It
right,
wasn't bad. I think I told you, right, that we messed
right.
up both recipes a little bit.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
were
I think I
like, I
remember
don't
like
know
the
how.
review,
You're
right?
such an idiot.
They even bold all like the food and stuff so like you don't get it wrong. But that's funny.
um, Wait, but it's also different because your group of kids now, it's like you're TAing online, so it's not
Yeah,
quite the same, especially with like interactivity, right? So,
yeah. Man, to this week I might have like a bigger group of kids too, just because today or like I guess Monday was a holiday. So anyone who had a lab or tutorial on Monday had to find another tutorial or lab to go to. So yeah, I think I'm gonna probably have like 30 kids per lab, and I'm gonna be like a high school teacher with 30 kids in my class.
how
So
many
yeah,
do you usually have?
21. I have 21 students. So
Now
yeah.
you can complain that it's too many and it's over capacity because that's
Yeah, I
what
should be like,
I do.
this wasn't in my like contract, and I demand a raise.
Yeah. You're already getting paid pretty well, Matthew.
Yeah, but it's just it's just like one of those things, right? So like now the people on Monday don't have to work, but they still get paid, and I have to like. It's not like I
Oh,
would have to do extra because like no matter what, my lesson plan's the same. But yeah, I just wish I didn't have to do it.
yeah. Well, you only have to. Did you say this coming week? No, 2 more. You have two
Yeah, two
more.
more weeks.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
pretty sure like if we keep doing these podcasts every week, I'm just going to be complaining about TAing until it's done because I still have a lot tomorrow.
that's all you've been complaining about lately.
There's nothing much. I've still been going on runs. I want to run this morning.
Oh, nice.
Just because Sunday I was gonna run, but then it was like pouring rain, so like yeah, I didn't want to. And I feel like I've been getting better. I think morning runs are actually a lot more productive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, upbringing. I think that was a good episode.
It ended up being very long. Well, anyway, I guess that wraps up this episode. Yeah, I don't know. That's just, how our upbringing went. Took pictures yesterday when I was out, right? Surprisingly, my apps are more defined than I thought they were.
Okay, you want an applause for that?
Yes, thank
Congrats,
you.
Katie.
I don't know. It sounds like you're getting more productive with like running and stuff. I'm actually I feel like I'm getting worse. Like
Are you gonna hit your 100 kilometers?
I'm at 77 kilometers right now.
Okay, that's not bad.
I think I
23 kilometers?
still
You do that in one run. That's like half the marathon.
I'm not doing that. Remember I told you I was gonna try to do a 10K run?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I think it takes not just motivation, but I think 10K run, like you have to like running, but also it's easier to do it with like a group of people. Like the sun run was a lot easier because everyone else was running with you, so it was like motivation that way. Doing it by yourself, especially if you hate running, there's just no point.
Like I feel like I could do it if I made myself do it. I just really don't want to, so I'm not going to anymore.
But I think it's still good to get 100K.
That's the goal. I mean, I don't know if I'll hit it by the end of August, but we'll see.
Come on, Katie. You said that you're gonna get a job on September 1st. No, I'm kidding.
I said I would take the summer off, and that's about all I said. And technically, I already started looking, but I don't know if I told you, it's looking pretty bleak out there.
Yeah. No, I can see it being pretty.
Yeah.
I also heard it's actually pretty hard to get job. I mean, like even like in comp sci, because like yeah, there's the high demand, but there's also so many like comp sci students.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition. Like
That's
it's even
bad.
worse now.
He's gonna stab you. Run.
Okay, actually wrapping this episode up.
Yeah, it was fun.
So, yeah, I guess that's the end of our episode about upbringing and our little life update. So
Tune in next week for an amazing episode about something that we will think about.
on the day of.
We could talk about your car story. That's always
That's
a good
not a
one.
whole episode.
That's
Anyway.
literally a full episode.
No, it's not. Anyway. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.